Welcome to Super Showdowns, the ultimate destination for epic battles and legendary showdowns. Join us as we put iconic superheroes, villains, and mythological figures against each other in thrilling matches of strength, strategy, and skill. The universe was trembling long before either warrior ever raised a weapon. Across the endless void, two powers, born from different realities, prepared to clash. One from the dark iron skies of Apokolips, and the other from the radiant seas of Zen-La. Their destinies, though forged in different fires, were bound by conquest, loss, and the eternal hunger for meaning in a cosmos too vast to understand. Steppenwolf, the dread general of Apokolips, stood before a burning world. His axe dripped with molten light as the screams of conquered armies faded into silence. He was the uncle of Darkside, the lord of tyranny, and the hammer by which the will of Apokolips was imposed upon the weak. He had raised 1,000 civilizations in the name of order, a brutal, unquestioned order born from the mind of a god. But even victory had become hollow. For Steppenwolf, conquest was routine and slaughter was ritual. He sought something beyond obedience, something to remind him that he was not merely a servant of Darkside's cause, but a god in his own right. When whispers of a silver being riding the cosmic winds reached his war council, curiosity ignited within him. Reports said the being traveled faster than light, devouring energy from stars, unbound by gravity or reason. To Steppenwolf, such a creature was either a weapon worth taking or a threat worth destroying. Meanwhile, in another corner of the multiverse, Rad, the Silver Surfer, soared through the starless reaches beyond the Milky Way. His eyes reflected dying suns, worlds extinguished by forces of greed, war, and pride. Once he had been the Herald of Galactus, a servant doomed to find worlds for his master to consume. But those days had ended long ago. Now he was a wanderer, a spirit seeking redemption for the countless lives lost under his watch. Yet peace eluded him. The power cosmic pulsed within his silver veins, a reminder of both his damnation and his gift. He felt a disturbance, a dark vibration rippling through dimensions, like a drumbeat of war echoing across the astral corridors. The source, a realm of screaming machines and living fire, Apokolips. The surfer followed the sound across the veils of reality, cutting through wormholes and gravity wells like a blade of light. When he emerged, he found a world unlike any he had ever seen. The very air burned with sulfur and rage. Massive towers belched smoke into skies the color of rust. Rivers of molten metal snaked across landscapes littered with forges, weapons, and souls. Apokolips, he whispered, his voice trembling with awe and sorrow. A world enslaved by its own creation. High above the Crimson Citadel, Steppenwolf sensed him. The being's energy radiated like a small sun, piercing through his planet's gloom. He grinned beneath his steel helm. "So the wanderer dares approach the throne of gods," he muttered. "Let him come." When the Silver Surfer descended into the atmosphere, parademons swarmed like locusts. Their metallic wings shrieked as they hurled plasma bolts, but the surfer glided through them effortlessly, weaving light between their fury. Each time one struck, he dissolved it into atoms with a flick of cosmic energy. Steppenwolf watched the display from the Citadel's balcony, impressed yet unshaken. "You wield power well, stranger," he called as the surfer landed before him. "But power without conquest is wasted." The surfer's eyes glowed faintly, and his voice carried the calm gravity of eternity. "I do not conquer. I seek balance. But I sense no balance here, only cruelty." Steppenwolf's laugh echoed like thunder. "Balance? There is no balance in creation, only domination. The strong shape the weak serve or they perish. That is the law of the cosmos." "Then your law is corruption," the surfer replied coldly. "And corruption must end." Steppenwolf's grin widened. "You speak of ending corruption as if you have not served it yourself. Do you think I do not know who you are, Herald of Galactus? The Devourer's dog?" For a moment the surfer said nothing. The name cut deeper than any blade. "I was his herald," he admitted, "but no longer. I have seen the cost of blind servitude. Then we are alike, Steppenwolf replied, stepping forward. Both forged by masters we now despise. Yet you waste your freedom on repentance. I choose glory. I choose war. The ground trembled as his axe slammed into the obsidian floor, carving molten cracks that pulsed with infernal energy. Tell me, Silver Wanderer, will you bend or burn? The surfer's body flared with radiant light, illuminating the black towers around them. I bend to no tyrant, and I burn only for truth. Steppenwolf snarled, raising his weapon, the smell of ozone thickening as thunder rolled across the sky. Then you will burn for me. The first clash did not come yet, not in this moment, but across the stars, the universe itself seemed to tense, as if aware that two forces of unimaginable will were about to collide. On one side stood a new god, born of war and obedience, his heart beating to the rhythm of conquest. On the other, a cosmic savior, forged in guilt and starlight, wielding the power of galaxies. As Steppenwolf's armies began to assemble across the fiery plains, and the silver surfer hovered above them like a radiant storm, destiny prepared its battlefield. Two titans, one of shadow, one of light, about to ignite the multiverse in an explosion of fury, philosophy, and redemption. And thus began the prelude to the cosmic war. The sky of Apokolips roared as two titans took to the field, a god of war and a herald of stars. Across the molten plains, rivers of fire erupted like veins of fury, casting crimson reflections across Steppenwolf's gleaming armor. Above him, Silver Surfer hovered in silence, surrounded by a shimmering aura of cosmic radiance. The storm was ready to break. The first strike came like thunder. Steppenwolf hurled his electro-axe through the air, its edge screaming with anti-energy. The weapon collided with the surfer's board, sending ripples through the sky as sparks scattered like meteors. The surfer countered instantly, channeling pure cosmic force into his palm. A beam of white-hot energy erupted, slamming into the ground where Steppenwolf stood. The explosion carved a crater a mile wide, melting iron and stone into liquid fire. When the smoke cleared, Steppenwolf still stood, armor scorched, but his grin defiant. You have the light of 1,000 suns, he bellowed, but I was born in darkness. He vanished in a burst of boom tube energy, reappearing behind the surfer in midair. His axe came down like divine judgment. The blow struck with such power that it tore open the clouds and sent the surfer crashing into the molten ground below. The planet itself seemed to roar in approval as the new god raised his weapon high, the ground trembling beneath him. But from within the crater, a silver glow began to rise, faint at first, then brilliant beyond vision. The surfer emerged, body radiating with cosmic heat, his eyes like twin stars. You are powerful, Steppenwolf, he said calmly, but power without purpose is only destruction. Destruction is purpose, Steppenwolf roared, leaping forward with a warrior's scream. His axe clashed with the surfer's radiant barrier, and the impact sent shockwaves across the battlefield. Parademons were torn from the sky, reduced to dust by the force of their master's war. The surfer weaved through the chaos, moving faster than light, leaving streaks of energy in his wake. Each motion of his hand created worlds of brilliance, beams that split mountains, pulses that shattered weapons mid-air. But Steppenwolf endured, using the environment to his advantage. He summoned the power of Apokolips itself. The ground opened beneath the surfer, spewing magma and raw energy in every direction. The surfer's board darted upward, spiraling through fire and smoke. You enslave your world to feed your pride, he said, but pride cannot conquer eternity. Steppenwolf's eyes burned crimson. Then let eternity bleed. He raised his axe, absorbing the ambient energy of Apokolips, and swung with enough force to split the clouds apart. The blow connected with the surfer's chest, sending him reeling backward. The surfer crashed through a mountain of molten iron, his body glowing with cracks of raw energy. For the first time, the cosmic wanderer bled light. Steppenwolf stalked forward, his voice like thunder over the storm. You are not invincible. Even stars die. The surfer lifted his head slowly, his expression serene despite the pain. "Yes," he said softly, "but even in death, a star gives light." In that instant, he let go of restraint. The power cosmic surged outward in a storm of creation and destruction. Apokolips' molten rivers froze mid-flow. The atmosphere rippled with white radiance, and the stars beyond the planet seemed to flicker in response. Steppenwolf raised his axe again, but this time it melted before it could strike. The metal liquefied and fell in droplets of glowing light. The surfer extended his hand, and the very molecules around Steppenwolf bent to his will. The new god roared, struggling against the cosmic pressure, his armor fracturing under the sheer magnitude of the energy. The two powers clashed, light against darkness, cosmic harmony against divine fury. Steppenwolf broke through the energy wave with a desperate cry, driving his fist into the surfer's chest. The impact sent them both hurtling through the skies, crashing through towers and fortresses. They landed amid the ruins of the citadel, surrounded by rivers of molten fire. Steppenwolf, panting, raised his head and glared at the glowing being hovering above him. "You cannot destroy me," he growled. "I am eternal." The surfer's voice was gentle but resolute. "Then may eternity rest." He lifted both hands, channeling the power cosmic into a sphere of blinding radiance. Every atom in the surrounding space trembled as he released it. The explosion consumed the battlefield in a storm of pure energy. Mountains evaporated, the citadel crumbled into dust, and the sky of Apokolips turned white for the first time in its history. When the light faded, Steppenwolf lay broken upon the scorched earth, his armor melted, his axe gone. His breath came in ragged bursts as he looked up at the silent figure above him. "What are you?" he rasped. The surfer descended slowly, his expression sorrowful. "A reminder," he said, "that even gods must answer to the balance of the cosmos." He touched Steppenwolf's forehead, and a surge of energy enveloped him, not to kill, but to purge. In an instant, the new god was sent across dimensions, cast into the void beyond his world, his fury extinguished in silence. The surfer turned his gaze toward the sky, where distant stars shimmered once more. "The war is over," he whispered. "May there be peace, if only for a moment." With that, he rose upon his board, ascending through the smoke and ash until he vanished beyond the clouds, leaving only a faint trail of silver light across the wounded sky. And thus ended the war of light and shadow, a tale not of victory, but of understanding. For in defeating Steppenwolf, the Silver Surfer did not triumph through destruction, but through transcendence, proving once more that true power lies not in domination, but in the will to rise above it.